Okay, and we're COMP3025, and it's week 2, lesson 2, part 2, and we're talking about some other options like if you can't afford to have a Mac. One of them was Mac in the cloud, but you want to use a Mac, you want to work at home. Mac in the cloud is an option. But let's get back into Xcode and the emulator. I would say that if I was gonna respond to the question I had was how good is the emulator or simulator compared to a real device? And I would say it's not anywhere near the same. It's good. I mean, I think you can test out your app to make sure there's no errors, but there's things that the simulator won't do. And let's talk about that a little bit. Actually, I have it here in the presentation too. So we're developing things with the Xcode 6 IDE. And you know what? Once you start using the Xcode 6 IDE, you're going to like it. All right? I would say the code hinting and some of the stuff they have, the syntax coloring, and all that stuff they're talking about here, it's all good, honestly. It's not a bad idea at all. Some of the challenges are that it doesn't support every language. It only supports certain languages that are off the go anyway. You can get plugins for everything else too, but the majority of the languages support are the ones that Apple wants you to use on it. I'm not going to go through too many features, but I mean, we already looked at one of the major ones for me, which is playgrounds. Right? If I was going to say anything that's really cool for Xcode 6, not just the support of the iOS 8 simulator for iPhone 6, but also playgrounds. Playgrounds are a really cool thing where you don't have to go too much into it. Interface Builder is something that it's been around for a long time with Xcode 6. Originally, it was a separate product. Yeah.
So are you saying, like, are they trying, instead of having like an environment like 4 programmers, 5 programmers, do you think they're trying to like make it easier for everyone? Like,
I think they're making it easier for everybody. I think what they want to do, especially with Swift, if I was going to predict, is, I mean, it's going to be so easy. You're going to see Swift is like, it reminds me a lot of a mix between Python and JavaScript, right? Seriously, that's how easy it is to learn, right? So I know you're shaking your head. You're going, my God, right? But if you know a little bit of Python, you know that Swift is going to be, the good thing about Swift is there's no semicolons, right? At all. So why would you need semicolons? I mean, we've been using semicolons for so long, right? But there's none anymore, right? And a lot of the parentheses and things like that they ask you to use in other languages, you don't have to use them in Swift. And you don't have to, declare your variable type. There's a lot of variable type inference, right? I know. So when you look at it, you're like, hold on a second, but that doesn't go with what we've learned, right? And then, but they tell you, they're like, yes, but it's a very strict language anyway. It just gets you going faster. So we'll talk about that and the advantages and disadvantages of this thing. Yeah. So the answer is, to me, I mean, if you're going to use the iOS simulator, here it is. I think it's a good thing to have. There's not all device capabilities on it. Like, for example, they still don't have camera usage on it, which is funny because on the Android emulator you do, right? There's some other apps and certain sensors that just don't work with the emulator. Like you can simulate a shake or something like that. You can change your orientation, portrait, landscape, but there's certain things you just can't do. You need a real device. So if you're a true developer, you're going to need to get the device you're going to develop on. I think it's the same for Android too.
Yeah. You may touch on this later, but right now the only way I know to put an app on my phone is through the App Store. If you're doing half-baked stuff and you're trying to build,
you can't do it on your phone unless you're a true developer. You have to be a registered developer to do it on your phone.
Can you even test on your own device?
Nope. You have to be a developer.
That's horrible.
Yeah. Well, no, it means, but the reason for that is because, and this is the thing. See, when you're a developer on Android, you're a developer on Android. Pay $25 a year and you're good to go, right?
You don't need to pay to put a APK on your phone.
You don't need to pay anything. But for you, in order for you to do that with Mac, because I guess it's part of it is security issues, right?
Apple problems.
Well, security problems, right? They want you to subscribe to the developer program, and now there's certain advantages to that. And by the way, don't think that it takes 2 seconds to subscribe to the developer program. It does not. It takes about a week, I would say. So if you were to subscribe today, they do a lot of verification with you before you're allowed to put stuff on the App Store. Right? Like they don't just, you can't just go and sign up and pay your money and then, hey, I'm ready to go. It's not like that. Android's like that. Android, you pay your money and you can send stuff up on Google Play.
Nobody pays money.
I'm just saying. If you want to pay your money to be a developer, I'm saying. If you want to put things on the Google Play Store, you can do that. So you could do it, right? And you're up and coming, and you can do it in 2 seconds, right? You can put stuff on Google Play very quickly. Not so with Apple at all, right? So don't think that tomorrow you're going to be an Apple developer. You pay for the program and then you're good to go and you're running. No, it takes time. They're going to call you. They're going to verify who you are, and all that kind of stuff. And you have to decide what model you're going to choose. Are you going to be a company or are you going to be an individual, right? And then if you're a company, there's a whole set of other problems that are ahead of you in terms of verifying your company. They're going to take a look at you. They're going to send you information. I mean, it's not impossible. Everyone does it. It's just a matter of it takes time. So that's something that I think you got to think about if you're thinking about being a true developer for an Apple developer. It takes time to get into it. So again, is it the same? I'll tell you right now. When I run the Android emulator, the SDK, it's like slow. It doesn't matter what system you're using it on. It's really slow, right? And you're better off using a phone for that. I'll be like, or any kind of device for Android development.
There's a newer, better one.
Even
Just
so.
came out. They use an x86 rather than the ARM.
Okay.
Emulate it. Intel was working on it. It's a lot. I mean, it's so slow. It's VM, right?
Yeah.
But it's a lot better.
But I'll tell you that the iOS simulator is fast. Okay, it's not a slow emulator. The problem is, like I said, it doesn't do everything, right? So, I think it's better. I'll be honest with you. I'm happy with its performance, especially on the Mac. Not so sure about the virtual machines. You're virtualizing a virtual machine, and I've tried it. I've used it before, and it works. It'll come up in a virtual environment, but it'll be pretty slow. You have to give as many resources to that virtual machine as you can. It'll suck you dry, right? Just letting you know. I shouldn't have probably said that right now, but anyways.
You recording?
Yeah. Let's take a look at the tip calculator app, just as a go around, right? In order for me to do that, I'm just going to pause right now, really quickly, the recording, and I'm going to put up the code archive up on Blackboard for you guys, so you can have all the apps and all the chapters and everything else from the book. I'll just throw it up on Blackboard right now. So 1 second, I'll do that and I'll come back.